Morning. I found out something. Since I've been using the computer a lot, approving my messages and such, I found out that I don't have to take videos no more. Well, I still take the video, but I don't have to publish them anymore. I found out there's a keep them private. So now, from now on, me taking the medicine and sugar levels and all that stuff, I take the video and I'm gonna put it on private so you guys won't be bored to death. Now I can tell stories. Take my time to tell stories. It's been raining here for 2 or 3 days. I woke up this morning thinking, boy, I'm glad I'm back on the farm hunting for newborn calves in this rain. The dogs are having a crazy fit. Boy, leave him alone. I'm going to spray. I'll spray. He's bullying this morning, like always. That's got my sugar levels a little high. He thinks he's the boss about everything. I'm telling you, I had another hamburger last night. I can't eat a pound of hamburger, a 2 or 3 pound package. I have to eat it in a couple of days intervals. But I remember hunting calves. Oh my God, the rain, the snow. It snowed back in my day, way up in the end of April, 1st of May, we've had snow. We jumped. I'm not helping you up here. Yep, I'm getting a cat. You know that, don't you? I ordered one, a big one. He looks at me like hatred in his eyeballs. Kitty, kitty. Oh, it's going all right about that. I wouldn't make it without my dogs. God, we used to do some crazy things on the farm. We had to milk them by hand back in our day. And the way the dad had set up the barn was stupid. I thought it was stupid. Instead of cows coming in one area and then splitting off a chute, where you could, he had cows coming in from one side, and cows coming in from the other side. And my cows came in from the right side, and my brother's cows came in from the left. And whatever came in from the right, I milked. And sometimes I didn't have that many to milk because they still hadn't dropped the calf or whatever. And you couldn't turn one of them silly suckers to be milked on the opposite side. No. Once we got trained for the left side or the right side, that was it. That was it. So I could finish he'd finish an hour before I would, and he couldn't milk the next cow because it wasn't about, you could beat it to death and it wouldn't go around the other side. Sometimes we'd milk them in halfway up the chute, just to hurry up and get done. Back in our day, the school went up to the 8th grade, and that's for it. Higher learning started at the 9th grade. Jump up here, baby. Oh, you gonna fall, you old crippled thing. Yeah, higher learning started at the 9th grade. Old country schools went to 1 through 8. That's all it went. If you don't believe my ass, Google it. Google wasn't there, so in my day we didn't have the damn Google. You had to remember what the hell you read. Yeah, we had encyclopedias. Still got 3 or 4 volumes down there in the old barn. Oh, I've been coughing up blood this morning. Probably snored half the night. Power went off 2 or 3 times because of the weather. But I've been having pain across here. At one time, they had to take this eyeball out, and up behind my eyeball back in here was a tumor. It was about, I don't know, the size of $50. About the size of a small ping pong ball. They took it out. Well, I've been having trouble with seeing now this one eye here lately, and I've been having that pain again. So I guess I need to go to the doctor to have a brain scan. Why the hell are you worried about me? You don't worry about yourself at my age, buddy. They won't worry about you a damn bit. They won't spend that government money on you. I remember my grandma. God bless her little old heart. She had a double, what they call a double sink, which we have them today. That's where the term comes from. She had a spring that came in through a pipe and dropped off in the first sink. It filled up, and then it fell over in the second sink, filled up, then ran on out. And she'd put her milk or butter and stuff like that in a jar and put it in the first sink. I was a refrigerator back in the day. And the old cold spring would drop into it and keep everything cool. If she wanted water or something out of it, she would dip water out of it to, cook biscuits or whatever. Then the other one, she'd dip water out of it because it wasn't quite as cold, and wash dishes or wash stuff. They didn't wash dishes in the sink. They washed them in the pan. At least she didn't. Yeah. I remember the little hand pumps in the kitchen. I remember the outside pump. When it was frozen, oh my God, it was a nightmare. We'd take a gallon of water, or 5-gallon bucket or whatever, 2.5-gallon water, prime that pump and try to pump it. If it wouldn't prime, we'd have to go down to the old 80-foot dugout, or 60-foot, I can't remember. It was deep. Old dugout well. And we'd have to draw water up with a bucket. Couldn't pump it no more. Then we'd take that water and feed the water to the stock. When the ponds were froze over. I busted a lot of ice on the ponds now in my day with a chopping axe. So the cows could drink. It was easier than carrying water. But the ponds were too frozen, so sometimes they'd get foot deep. Or they'd be out too far frozen solid. So we'd have to pump water twice or 3 times a day for 25, 30 head of cattle. And the horses and the chickens and the ducks and all the other crap. Guineas. I can tell you some story about the guineas. But the best watchdog is a guinea or a goose. They don't like nothing strange in their yard. And a goose is a better watchdog than a guinea. Because sometimes the guineas just get unsettled and they don't like everything. If you're 2 hours early or something, even that's you, they'll start raising the fifth or whatever, because they don't like nothing change out of their routine. Now, old goose, now, if it gets to know you, back in my day, geese live 60 years, and sometimes a little longer. Back in our day, they used to have a goose that was born the same time you was. That's your goose for your life. It was your buddy. You could spoil them, how they'd follow you around. I always dropped a little feed when I was feeding the cows the milk. Gathering eggs, oh my God, we'd gather a 5-gallon bucket. We'd gather 2 milk buckets, which is about 2.5-gallon buckets. Every morning, or every day. And that was just the house eggs. My mother had thousands of chickens. I shit you not. We had both game chickens that stayed down on the branch. You didn't collect their eggs. It's half-ass wild. Sometimes the coyotes would have, they was roosted way up in the trees. Now the old Dominickers and the old Leghorns and mixed chickens is what they were. She had about 1,000 of them. We'd shut the barn up every night, make sure there's all in there. The big old chicken house. I mean, hell, that damn chicken house is huge. We sold eggs too. Sold milk and eggs. She'd feed the chickens when it was hard times, but mostly they foraged for themselves. Well, there wasn't no bugs, ticks, fleas, or any damn thing in our yard. Them damn chickens would eat them all. And there wasn't no snakes, because the geese would eat snakes. Oh, goose will eat a snake. I've seen them run with little copperheads about that long, about a foot and a half long, and fight over them. So would the chickens. Yeah. So, that's storytelling time. My niece is coming up from the south. She's been fighting breast cancer, I think. I think it's breast cancer, yeah. Sad. She's a young woman. She's in her 50s. My daddy's people, cancer running their family. And my mother's people, strokes and heart attacks running their damn family. Can't win for losing. I've been making a bunch of jewelry up. I'd bought a bunch of antique stuff in some boxes, and I sorted through that, some of that jewelry. Some of it was real, some of it wasn't. But I'm going to sell that and give it to my granddaughter to sell. I don't know where she's got my stuff up on her From Thoughts to Things yet. She better get her butt on the ball. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. She's busy trying to find her a house in the country. She's got the 4 children. They're probably 2 years old to 6 years old, and I told her to move in the country. She lives up in the city. I said, yeah, damn kids. I said, your best bet's to get them out on the acreage, get them in FFA or FHA or whatever the hell they call that shit. And, they ain't saying they ain't drugs out in the country, but damn, the city's all eat up with shootings and murders and all that shit. Especially if you live in the inner city. Of course, Oklahoma City ain't really the inner city, but she needs to move out of there. She's been in an apartment for 7 years. 3-bedroom apartment. I said, hell, go move in the damn country. Take that money and buy your house. That's what I did. She got approved for $250,000. Her husband's got a pretty good job. Of course, her brother will help her. She makes 3 figures a year, works for an oil company. And oil and gas is on the increase. Ooh, Lord, have you checked the prices of a gallon of gas? And diesel is what scared the hell out of me. I couldn't believe it. I go back to horse and buggies. But I'd buy milk if it's $10 a damn gallon. I ain't milking another damn cow. Got arthritis. I don't think I can squeeze my hand tight enough. Yeah, boy, I remember taking that milk to the separator, but turning that separator. Young people don't know what the hell that is. I see them use these mailboxes nowadays, the old separator sitting out there, and they welded a mailbox on top of it. Separate the milk from the cream. Yeah. cream we'd make butter out of. I churned a lot of butter. I've got an old glass churn back over in here, stored. It's about, I don't know, 3 or 4 gallon glass churn. Make about a pound of butter, maybe a pound and a half of butter. Things back in them days, food was a hell of a lot healthier. Didn't have no preservatives. And the whey and stuff that we'd feed to the hogs, pour it in the feed, fattened up them hogs. We raised hogs too, and sheep. Raised any damn thing you could eat. We'd have a surplus of milk, we'd feed it to the hogs, feed it to the new calves. We'd pull them calves off about, I don't know whether that's about 3 weeks old. Feed them by hand. They drink less milk, and the cows will produce more milk if you pull the calf off of it. Because once the calf starts, they'll produce whatever that calf drinks. Well, if you're milking them and dry every morning and every night, their body system, they think that they have to produce more milk because the calf drunk them dry. Well, if you ain't got a calf on them, you're taking the milk off of them yourself. Yep. Damn horses. Mules. I think I told you a story about Dad. Dad was not a stock man. It was my mother and my grandmother and us kids that did that farm. He took care of the business. He's a wheeler and a dealer. Now, he knew his horses now. That Swede knew his horses. That's what they called. My uncle called him a Swede. Little bitty man. He wasn't 5'3", 5'2", little short, skinny man, weighed about 120 pounds. Now, my mother's people, them Irish, were big stock, big molded people. Dad was little bitty. He was wiry, but he was a little bitty. My mother was the one running the farm, and his mother. My mother and my dad's mother. She crossed the Arkansas River in a covered wagon and built her own damn raft, brought her own milk cows. Crossed the Arkansas. With 3 kids in tow, 1 on the breast. Now, that was tough-ass people back then days. She was 21, and she had lost her husband. He was 56. She didn't get married. She was 17, 18 years old. She was a spinsteress. That's what they call it. If you didn't get married at 16, you waited till you was 18 years a spinster. Yeah, she came from Arkansas. Well, she came from Pennsylvania down to Arkansas during the Reconstruction. And lived in Ione, Arkansas, outside of Fort Smith, on the river. It's on the island, and it ain't even there no more. I think you might find part of the town. But it was on the banks of the Arkansas, most of it was on an island called Ione, Arkansas. My grandpa. That's why he named it Ione. I own this, and I own that, and I own this, and I own that. So he owned the small sawmill and a whole bunch of other shit. I mean, back in the day, I don't think I could even ride a horse. My body wouldn't let me. I could drive a wagon. I could drive a 3-up. That's 6 horses. 3 sets of 2s. You have to put your bridles in different fingers. People don't know. Very seldom nowadays people know anything about stock. And dogs were not allowed in the house. cat stayed at the barn and killed mice. Telling you. But all I got now is my buddies. Or he's took over. He run off Big Boy. Big Boy was the first one to get in my bed, in my lap. Tell me my sugar level was high, or he run him off, so he took his place. And then he'll sit right there till my sugar level goes down. They're smart. Or he's Big Boy's over there complaining like, I'm trying to take your job away from you. Baby girl, now she gets me up. She gotta go outside. She don't like to use poopy pads. She never was trained for them. She will use them. She'd rather go outside. The little guy's just a spoiled, rotten mess. He's the only one that sleeps with me. Because my bed's too high, or he used to, when my bed was lower. But he sleeps right beside my bed. I can't, if I swing my feet over, I'll step on him and his blanket. We got dog beds. And that old divan, I shampoo it and clean the cushions every so often. Got a can of this stuff you spray on it, and then you wipe it down. It's got little deals, and then let it dry, and then vacuum it off. Cleans it pretty good, but I keep it covered up with a quilt, and then wash the quilts. That's what I do. I make sure it's clean. Need to buy them another one. They don't like leather furniture. They like cloth furniture. I think I'll buy a leather one. It's easier to clean. I got my spray bottle here. This big old bottle here. I keep it full of alcohol and peroxide. 2 deals of alcohol, 1 deal of peroxide. I just knocked something over, but I'll pick it up when I get up. Yeah, when the dogs get into a fight, I tell them I'm going to spray you. Boy, they spratter and all that. They don't like that alcohol sprayed on them. I used to try to pull them apart, and they bit my hand one time trying to bite each other, and I don't do that shit no more. I went to the emergency room. Big Boy bit right through there. Of course, little Oreo was trying to kill him. The little guy was over there just looking at him like, you're all crazy. They don't pick on him, because I got on to him when he was little. He was a little bitty thing. And I tell Oreo, don't you hurt my baby puppy. And to this day, he won't get, or he gripes at him, hits him with his nose, but he won't bite him. And baby girl, when she decides she's had enough of bullshit, she settles them all down. They all scatter when she starts biting at them. She's a vicious little killer. She's the one that kills the gophers and the moles and any damn thing else is in the yard. I have to go out there with them half the time. Because the hawks will snatch him up if you ain't careful. Especially the little guy. He's learned to run to get under the porch when he sees a hawk. Old hoot owls, too. I don't like to leave them out at night. I'll stand there at the door. Old hoot owl get one of them. They grab Ori, they throw him down pretty damn quick. He's a biting sucker. Ori, what's the matter, baby? Well, it's story time for now. Since I figured out I could put my medical stuff and me cooking. I might do some cook videos. Oh, baby, don't you fall. But I don't need to sit there and watch you take my medicine, because I do that and save it on private. I found out they got a setting private. So now I just sit there in the morning time and tell you stories. Tell you a bunch of stories. Tell you about my life. Yeah. And then when the weather gets better and I can get outside, that's my thing. I need to get outside. It's rained. It's going to rain all next week. It's supposed to be pretty. My sister was calling. Well, I talked to her last night. She told my niece is coming up in the south. Got to do some more radiation or something. So she's going to stay at her house. So I might go over and see her. She's been fighting that cancer for almost a year. Yeah. I fought mine for 17 weeks, chemo and radiation. I was sick for about almost 2 years. But I was under chemo and radiation for 17 weeks. I thought the hell I was going to die. Started with this eye here, taking that tumor out behind it. But they popped my eyeball out. I was still conscious. Like one eyeball looking at around here, one eyeball looking at the ground. Well, down. And then I had a tumor on my back. They took it out. Both of them was benign. But the tumors in my neck, they were cancerous. So if you've having tumors after a while, you better be careful. But yeah, baby boy. He's wanting to get over there on his van so he can cause some more crap. I think I might have a hangout. But I love that private setting. Now you guys don't have to sit there and watch me take meds. And then if anybody bothers me, I still got a record of them. Come here. He's so old. You so old. Yeah, you old, baby. I'll do some more video, and when the weather gets bad, quits being bad, I turned on the heat front and back this morning. That's what I've been doing. Warming up this house. Well, you guys have a great day. Tell me about your lives. What you had to endure. It was a different era back in my day. You had to make sure that you kept the moisture out of the oats and the grain because it had to get a fungus on it and make your cattle sick. Cattle could eat it. Horses couldn't. Horses couldn't eat soured feed. Old hogs and cows could eat it. Cows had a double stomach. I don't think nothing killed a hog. The only thing about a hog, they don't like electricity. We had an old battery charger that you hook to a battery, and it run an electric wire when we put them out in the pasture. Damn hogs won't touch it. No, they're susceptible to electric. Little light, little shocking. They don't like it at all. Damn goat put the foot on it. Yeah, we had some goats. Jesus Christ. We had a little... Tell you this once... Well, maybe I'll hold that story off to the bar. About a goat. Yeah, if I remember, I'll tell you that story. We had a little steer goat. That means it didn't have its testicles. And that thing, he was our workhorse. Yeah. I'll tell you about him too. Yeah. Yep, I'll let you guys go. Have a great one. It's going to be story time. Yep, no more sitting there watching boring movies or boring me taking medicine. I'll tell you about stories I lived through riding the rails when I was a kid, trying to find work. Take care. Have a great one. Enjoy your life. It passes too damn fast.